तो जीवन में आप लोग के किसके दुख आया है क्या? अगर आया है तो हाथ ऊपर करो। अरे वाह, होलसेल में। हाँ, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड। वेरी नाइस। तो बोलते ना कि डॉक्टर के पास जाओ और बीमारी है तो डॉक्टर का मतलब पर्पस सर्व होता है, ये तो ऐसे सर्व नहीं होता। तो सिमिलरली when we are coming every Saturday over here, what is our main purpose? Why we are coming over here? We should understand that something we should take after going from this class in our life. Some dedication in our life should increase. Our bhakti towards the Lord should increase. Understanding the reality of the life we should increase. It's not that every Saturday you come and go, but this class is meant to evaluate. अपने आप को जानना है, समझना है, क्या है हम, क्यों है। And यो शास्त्र विधि उत्सर्ज्य वर्तते कामकारता ना सिद्धिम ना सुखम ना परम गति। These are the statement from Bhagavad Gita. Yo Shastra Vidhi Utsarjya. What is the meaning of Yo Shastra Vidhi Utsarjya? Lord says when you leave the Shastra, Yo Shastra Vidhi Utsarjya Vartate Kamakarata. You try to behave or live your life as per your desire. As per your अपनी इच्छा के अनुसार मैं अपना जीवन जीऊंगा। वर्तते कामकारता ना सिद्धिम ना सुखम ना परम गति। उसको कभी कोई जीवन में सिद्धि नहीं मिलेगी। ना सुखम, यू विल नेवर अचीव सुखम, ना परम गति। So we have to take the help of the Shastra to understand why the problems are coming. Bhagavad Gita is a manual, but Bhagavatam is a law book. What is it? It's a case history of how people have followed what? The Bhagavad Gita in their life, and there is a case history written about it. So there are three types of people. Prabhupada says intelligent, less intelligent, and no intelligent. Who is the intelligent person? Prabhupada says just by listening, he like आपको चोरी नहीं करना, मालूम है चोरी करना गलत है, तो आपको चोरी नहीं करना है, तो जस्ट बाय लिस्निंग इन हिज लाइफ वो कभी भी चोरी नहीं करेगा. सो ही इज कंसिडर्ड एज द मोस्ट इंटेलिजेंट पर्सन. बट देयर आर सर्टेन कैटेगरीज ऑफ पीपल उसे थोड़ा करके देखते क्या होता है, लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपेंस, लेट्स सी. और वो चोरी करता है, चोरी करने के बाद में पकड़ा जाता है, पकड़ाने के बाद पिटाई होती है, और तब बोलता अरे नाउ आई विल नॉट डू द स्टीलिंग. सो ही लर्न्स फ्रॉम द मिस्टेक्स. So that is also little less intelligent, that he learns from the mistakes and tries not to repeat it. But there is a third category of person which we called as no intelligent. Why? Because he listens, then he says let's do it, करता है, मार खाता है, and then he also says I will not do it. But जैसे ही बाहर आता है, again he starts doing the same old thing. But you are very intelligent people, I know. So by listening, you will try to implement. So let us take one of the case histories in the Shastra, Srimad Bhagavatam, where Dhruv Maharaj was in crisis. Her mother was in the crisis. So how he came in crisis and how the mother dealt with the crisis. For any crisis to be dealt, there are 4 ways. How many ways?
4 ways.
And we'll try to analyze that 4 ways. How to dealt with the crisis. We'll take the case history of Dhruv Maharaj's mother, and then we'll have a discussion with all of you also, that what are the possibilities that if it had happened to us or in the today's content, that situation arose, what was the normal reaction that could have happened? But what was the reaction of mother in that crisis? That's the lesson that we have to understand and we have to take in our life. Anybody knows Dhruv Maharaj's story? What is Dhruv Maharaj's story? Somebody can raise the hand. You have Vedabase on your mobile? Anybody has Vedabase or anything on the mobile? App is there? Everybody? Who has the app? Please raise your hands. App. How many people have that Vedabase app? Please raise your hands. And open that Vedabase. Open the 4th canto. Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll go and read that thing. Then we'll put the case history. Right? Please open. 4th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. You have removed? Who has opened the Vedabase? Chapter 8. Who has opened it? Okay. What's the chapter's name? Dhruv Maharaj leaves the home from the forest. So what are we doing? We are doing an exercise, right? We'll first understand the case history and then we'll try to analyze the crisis, right? Is this exercise necessary? Do you think that this exercise is necessary to understand? How many people feel that it is unnecessary? If it is necessary, please raise your hand. Very nice. So let us read the crisis. What? Okay. How did the crisis arrive? And I want one person also to come and note down over here. Who can help in writing over there on the board? You sit on the side. Whenever it is required, we'll be taking you. Okay? So please read the text. We'll start from text number 7. Anybody can read the 7? I want you to participate. It is an interaction class. I will be taking lot of interaction from all of you, and because sometimes क्या होता है, in ISKCON there are 2 shlokas very famous. One is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya and other is Mahaprasade Govinde, and 2 has their own effects. One effect of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is that people go to sleep, and Mahaprasade Govinde is so powerful that as soon they listen they can get up. So I want that you should not go and sleep. So we'll have an interaction class. So please read the 7th. Who will be reading? Who will be participating? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6. Okay. So, seventh, if you can read the shloka, it will be nice. Otherwise, read the translation.
Swayambhu Manu had two sons by his wife Satrupa, and the names of the sons were Uttarpad and Priyavrat. Because both of them were descendants of a plenary expansion of Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they were very competent to rule the universe, to maintain and protect the citizens.
Yeah. So Swayambhu Manu had two sons from his wife Shatrupa. This is going in the age of Satyuga, this story, right? Okay. And who were they? The names? Uttanpad and Priyavat. Okay. Somebody can read 8 number shloka?
King
Yeah.
Uttanapad had two queens named Suniti and Suruchi.
Please come and write. Suniti and Suruchi. You can write down and read further.
Suruchi was much more dear to the king. Suniti, who had a son named Dhruva, was not his favorite.
Okay.
They are right up, little
Up.
higher and bigger.
Bigger.
Higher and bigger.
So, King Uttanpad had two wives. Who were they? Suriti and Surichi. Now, if we go from the Tattva point of view, where does the crisis start? Crisis start when you do not live a life according to the Niti of Bhagavad Gita. According to the manual life of Bhagavad Gita, Niti. What? But you like to live a life as per Suruchi. अपनी रुचि के अनुसार हम हमारा लाइफ लिएंगे. So the first श्लोक which I spoke just now, यो शास्त्र विधि उत्सर्ज्य वर्तते कामकारता ना सिद्धिम ना सुखम ना परम गति. So being a king, it is expected by the king that he should be neutral. What he should be? Neutral. He should not be favoring. See Lord Ramachandra. He lived a life of king. And in that, if he wanted to leave Mother Sita, he left. Just to give an example, for me, Praja is very important. My personal life is not that important. That is an example of a king. But here we see where the problem starts, and the same thing happened with Duryodhan and Dhritarashtra. The first shloka of Bhagavad Gita gives the problem why the Mahabharata happened. Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra, Samaveta, Yuyutsava, Mamaka, Pandava, Shcheva, Kim Kurvarta, Sanjaya. This shows the mentality of the king. When you have that mentality, mine, and being a king, definitely crisis will come up in your life. What will come up? You are inviting crisis in your life. Definitely. And that is what is happening over here. Our center of a life, as per the Niti of Bhagavad Gita, should be Krishna. Why? Because we are spirit soul. And being spirit soul, Save punsa paro dharmo, yato bhakti adokshaje, ahetuki apratihata, yayatma suprasidati. What is the paro dharma of the jeev? Save punsa paro dharmo, yato bhaktir adokshaje. Adhokshaj bhakti is the paro dharma of the jivatma. And that is the real niti of the jiva. But instead of that paro dharma, he takes the line of Suruchi. What? He takes the line of, Dhritarashtra takes the line of Duryodhana. Attached to that. Not to the niti. To the Suruchi. We are attached to many things in our life other than Krishna. Other than keeping it as secondary part and taking Suruchi as a primary part. Suruchi as a... We are more ruchi in the sense gratification. Dhritarashtra had more ruchi in Duryodhana. And the Dharmashila Pandava, he had no ruchi. And that was the breeding ground of Mahabharata. So when you leave the niti, when you leave the parodharma in your life, what? And you take the secondary thing, na siddhim, na sukham, na paramgati. There will be no success. Because you have left the Shastra Vidhi. And what is the Shastra Vidhi? You have to understand that it is very deep to understand the Shastra Vidhi. You have to go to a guru in a Guru Parampara system. You have to have, guidance. Otherwise, our mind is the biggest cheater. So here, you understand Suruchi? Here, so the breeding ground is where? Attachment to not the niti, but ruchi. And what happens? When you are attached to the ruchi, or when you take the secondary dharma to be the primary dharma, and you leave the primary dharma, then the secondary dharma will pull you away, and you get attached to it. In the wrong. Why? What happens? In the Suruchi, our senses controls our mind. And what happens? Our senses drive us away. 5 examples are given. How our senses drive us away. Eyes, example is given by the fire moth. Fire moth get attracted to the light. रात को पतंगे दिखते हैं ना आप लोगों को, इतने अट्रैक्ट हो जाते हैं लाइट की तरफ कि अपने जीवन ही खलास कर देते हैं, क्योंकि देखना है, रुचि है. क्या है? और आजकल मोबाइल में बहुत ज्यादा रुचि है, फेसबुक में बहुत ज्यादा रुचि है. न्यूएस्ट इसको बोलते हैं मोबाइल आसुर. क्या बोलते हैं? मोबाइल आसुर. So that ruchi kills us. Somebody has attachment. We say like the deers have attachment to 5 senses. 5 examples you can just note it down of ruchi, where the people get attached. Eyes you can write fire moth. These are the basic things that I am again coming, that why the problems are there in our life. Fire moth. Actually the eyes are meant to be used for seeing the Lord, Bhagavad Gita and Darshan. That is the purpose of the eyes. But the ruchi part is what we think other than Lord and many other things. And that creates one type of crisis in our life. Eyes, ears, nose, you can write the cause of the crisis. And then when you are in the crisis, what can a person do? And what is expected from the Shastra? That is the exercise we will be doing. Okay. Eyes, nose, and then other tongue and touch. So the basic things you can write it, that ears, example, and touch. Skin. Okay. So ears ka you can write deer. Nose you can write bees. tongue you can write the fish, and skin you can write elephant. Fire not destroys itself because it has ruchi in what? Seeing, and it destroys itself. Today, how the people are destroying themselves? Addictions to the mobile, and time is destroyed, consciousness is destroyed, and the purpose of life is destroyed. And actually, the eyes are meant for what? It is said in the Bhagavatam, if the eyes are not used in taking darshan of Lord, in reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, then their eyes are like a peacock feather. What are they? Decoration is there, but there is no power of seeing. If the ears are not used in listening for the parodharma, that is the real parodharma, the ears are meant for listening the katha of the Lord, the glories of the Lord, the name of the Lord. That is parodharma. But now, what are we doing? We are using for material content. And this are termed as snake holes. What are they considered? Snake holes. And poison goes inside. So much poison. From morning to evening. Political poison is there. You know. Newspaper filled with poisons. And only creating disturbance. So ears are there, ears, and nose, smell. That bees can go inside and then he can come out easily. But he gets so much intoxicated that he cannot come out and get trapped in that at the night time, and he dies by the morning. The nose is meant to take the flowers of the Lord, smell it, tulsi leaves, smell it. And that is parodharma. That is parodharma of the Jivatma. Huh? We should smell the feet of the Lord. We should smell the feet of the Gurudevs. We should smell the feet of the Vaishnava Acharyas. That's what the nose is meant for. लेकिन आज के टाइम में नोज दूसरे के नाक घुसा देगा, बोलते हैं, और नाक उछा रखेगा क्या? Okay. Then fish tongue. So much horrible. It is said, यज्ञ अर्थात कर्मणो अन्यत्र लोको अयम कर्म बंधन तदर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्त संग. यज्ञ शिष्टाशिना संतो मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषे भुंजन्ते ते अधम पापा ये पचन्ति आत्म कारण. If you eat food which is not offered to Lord, even if it is vegetarian, it is full of sin. This is the law of Bhagavad Gita. Nobody knows. And not knowing the law is not an excuse to get out of the problem. Now we are discussing the problem thing, why the problems are coming in our life. Okay? The solutions we will be dealing how will come. So, the food now habits are gone so bad. People, major problem related to our illness in our life is related with food. And it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 18th chapter, there are considered 3 types of food. There are sattvic food, rajasi food, and tamasi food. The sattvic food are that type of food which are rasmai, which are wholesome, which are juicy. That are called sattvic food, which deals with milk, butter, cow milk, cow butter, fruits, and wholesome grain. These are called sattvic food, which increases your life, which increases your health. But there are rajasi food, khatta, tamtamta, chili, garam, masaledar, chili, and sukha, mish, and that says you get 1/3, एक के साथ 3 फ्री मिलते, उसमें क्या मिलते? लॉर्ड सेज रोग शोक एंड भय. क्या? अमाय, शोक एंड भय. Definitely you will get disease. What will you get as a bonus in your life? Definitely you will get unhappy because of eating of that food. Definitely there will be always fear in your life because of eating that type of food. Because it is not offered to the Lord. Because we are eating sins. So, tongue is meant to eat prasad. Tongue is meant for doing the parodharma of a jivatma, is to glorify the Lord, to chant the holy name. That is what the tongue is meant for. And skin. Elephant. If you want to trap an elephant, she-elephant is kept long and a hole is kept, covered with the grass. It gets so agitated because of the sex desire that it runs behind that. And instead of it gets trapped in that hole. So many cases, ample cases, people get trapped because of not having that control, sex control. Getting trapped in illicit sex life. Very common. Very common. Today only I was reading about one Dosa King person, his history. Dosa King, South Indian ka sabse bada Dosa King. He died. And the reason for dying, that he was involved in illicit sex life. 1 wife, 2 wives, 3 wives, and the 3rd wife married to another wife, and he was running behind him. He was a so big person, but he could not control that. You know Warren Brothers, Hollywood ke big name. How he got trapped into the cases of this. So many cases are there. Actually, it is said, if the parodharma is that, we have to understand that we are part and parcel of Lord. And nobody is a Stri or nobody is a Purusha. Actually, we are Prakriti. We are energy of Lord. We all are Stri. What are we? We all are Stri. Purush ek hai khali. That is Krishna. Purush is only one. You know, Mirabai one day came in Vrindavan to meet Jiva Goswami. And Jiva Goswami says that I won't meet the Stri. So Mirabai then was starting laughing. Jiva Goswami saying that he is because I am Stri and he is a Purusha, that's why you are not meeting. He started. So he said that I understood that there is only one Purusha, who is Krishna. Why he is thinking that he is also a Purusha? And listening to that, this sentence, immediately Jiva Goswami came and fell at the feet of Mirabai. So, Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, there is a Mirabai kutir also there, next by. So we all are Prakritis. What are we? Part and parcel of Lord. Sometime we may be Purush in this life, sometime we may be Stri, sometime, there are so many case history in Bhagavatam. In Bhagavatam itself, that Shivaji Loka, one king entered and he had to become a Stri. And then he again came out and then Purusha and Stri Purusha, 6 months he was changing. I was amazed to listen. So the gender thing, so when you try to enjoy, then that creates a crisis. So these are the main reason of our यही संस्पर्श जाब होगा, यही संस्पर्श जाब होगा, दुख योनि एवते आदि अंतवंतु कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधा. A Buddha, intelligent person, never plays in yehi sansa sparshajab hoga, which are the cause, the mother of all sufferings. So here we see that King Uttanpad, instead of living a life as per the niti, he is living a life as per ruchi, and that will create a problem. Definitely problem will arise. And what happened? Let's read further. एक ही श्लोक में इतना टाइम निकल गया, अभी तो क्राइस्ट डिस्कस कर रहे हैं.
Once upon a time, King Uttanpad was patting the son of Suruchi, Uttama, placing him on his lap. Dhruv Maharaj was also trying to get on the king's lap, but the king did not very much welcome him.
So now, being ruchi, what will happen? You will be always partial. What will be? Always partial. Right here, partial. You will be always partial in your life. You will never be neutral. But if Krishna is in the center, what is there? You will be always equal to everybody. You will be always. But if Krishna is not the center, then definitely, as per your ruchi, you will be partial. You will be sided by one side and you will be opposite on other side. But if Lord is there in the center, what? Then you will be able to be equal to everybody, and you will be dealing with, in a proper way in your life. Here, now, being ruchi, the king is interested in what? Ruchi. So what is happening? Both sons are there. Actually, you should have taken both of them and kept on the lap. But because he is more interested in Suruchi, and he did not want it to, उसको नाराज नहीं करना. किसको? सूर्य को नाराज नहीं करना. Then what will happen? इसको नाराज करेंगे. And that is what happened, the crisis problem. Okay? So now it was the right of the Dhruva to come and sit over there. Now we have to understand, Dhruv Maharaj is also a Kshatriya. कुछ चीज ब्लड में आती है. क्या होती है? By inherent something that कोई बिजनेसमैन है तो ब्लड में बिजनेसमैन रहेगा. कोई वर्कर है ना जैसे, तो उसके ब्लड में वो वर्किंग का कैपेसिटी रहता है. कोई ब्राह्मणिकल है ना, so that ब्राह्मणिकल qualities are there. कोई एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव something comes in blood. So he is a king. What is he? King blood is there in Dhruv Maharaj. So when and what happens? किसी का भी अपमान होना, especially, it hurts more. It hurts more. So here, now what is going to happen in this scene? Uttanpad, as a king also, as a father also and as a king also, it was his duty to keep both of them in the land. Because he was a king, in king also he had to be a neutral, as a father also he had to be, but he failed in both the duties. Why? Because of Suruchi, because of attachment to the senses. Actually the senses should be attached to Lord. Attached to Lord. But they are not attached. Right? Yehi senses parsha jab hoga. Dukkha yoni. What is that? And I told you in beginning, there are 3 types of intelligent people. No intelligent, less intelligent, and intelligent. I don't know, you are very intelligent people. So after this class, you will leave this thing. Okay, so partial. Now let's go read further.
While the child Dhruva Maharaj was trying to get on the lap of his father, Suruchi, his stepmother, became very envious of the child, and with great pride she began to speak so as to be heard by the
नहीं
king
नहीं,
himself.
the previous shloka, the last line, can you read? Dhruv Maharaj was also trying to get.
Dhruv Maharaj was also trying to get on the king's lap, but the king did not very much welcome him.
हाँ, he didn't welcome him. Okay. Now who was sitting nearby? Ruchi, Suruchi. Now what? Now what happens when you live a life not as per the parodharma, and you live a life of a ruchi, ruchi, then enviousness, write down, enviousness, proudness, अहंकार और बोलते हैं ना, showingness, dambh, you can write dambha, all this comes as a byproduct, कहीं पे आप कचरा डाल दो, क्या डाल दो? कचरा. Then you do not have to invite flies, you do not have to invite क्या बोलते हैं, बीमारी. They are naturally attracted to that place of gandagi. Similarly, when you live your parodharma, forgetting your actual identity, that you are spirit soul, and the prime duty of your life is to go back to the spiritual world. This is the only purpose this human life has got. There is no other purpose for this human life. You fail to go to that goal and you get trapped in the ruchi. What? And then you try to follow that shloka which says, na, Yo Shastra Vidhi Utsarjya Vartate Kamakarata. You try to live your life as per your desires, not as per the Shastras. Then never ever na sukham na siddhim na param gatim. Never ever your life is successful. It is failure. So the crisis, how it happens, but that is not the part real. The main part is how to handle the crisis. How to? Crisis. Because everybody has some crisis. Every day we come into crisis. Now we are dealing the cause, but the solution will take up as we read on. So here we see that now Suruchi, because of that enviousness behavior, what? She is trying to say sarcastically. What? To whom? To that small child. And why she is saying? Because बोलते ना, सेठ पहलवान, सेठ मेहरबान तो गधा पहलवान. क्या बोलते? तो गधा पहलवान. So here, because of the king, Suruchi, even she is a mother, small child, it's never expected. But because that attachment was so much that the king was not able to say anything to her. Because he knew, ये मेरे अंदर है, मैं कुछ नहीं करेगा ये. And she started speaking in a very sarcastic way to insult, you can say insult, a byproduct. To insult other is a byproduct of Suruchi. To prove that I am great is a byproduct of Suruchi. I am great. Now Suniti also will come, but let us see what is coming in the situation. And at the end of the class, we have to assemble the lesson. It may take time, little, extended time, little, because we have to understand, and we are now dealing with the crisis, not the solution. And we have to deal with the solution. By today, we will take some solution in our life. How to deal with the crisis. Right? We are dealing with the crisis now. Right? Okay. Read further. So now what she is saying, we read.
Queen Suruchi told Dhruv Maharaj, my dear child, do you not deserve to sit on the throne or on lap of the king? Surely you are also the son of the king. but because you did not take your birth.
You didn't take Suruchi, Shunumato, huh? This 10th verse, no? Or 11th? 11. Huh? So, what is the word? Na grihito maya ya tvam kushava api nip atmaja na vatsya nip. Huh? The word that is used, the word that is used is kushavapi. Kushavapi means मेरे कोख से नहीं जन्म लिया तुम. क्या? तुम भले किंग के बच्चे हो, लेकिन तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम है, मेरे कोख से जन्म लेना चाहिए, और इसके लिए तुमको अभी मरना पड़ेगा, और फिर बाद में तुम दूसरे जन्म में मेरे कोख से जन्म लो, और फिर आएगा तो तुमको ट्रीटमेंट मिलेगा. That is what she is trying to say that small child. It was very wrong. Very wrong on part of Suruchi. Please read the against translation, queuing Suruchi.
You did not take your birth from my womb. You are not qualified to sit on your father's lap.
Again read this statement, translation.
But because you did not take your birth...
No. Queen Suruchi and Dhruv
Queen
Maharaj.
Suruchi told Dhruv Maharaj, my dear child, you do not deserve to sit on the throne.
See, here she is housing my dear child, but is that the way that my dear? This is what we called as, dikhana kuch, bolna kuch, bhav kuch. Duplicacy. You write duplicacy. Duplicacy is a part of Suruchi. What? बोलना कुछ, दिखाना कुछ और करना कुछ. My dear, my dear, she is burning inside. What? Jealousy. And what she is saying? Read.
You do not deserve to sit on the throne or on the lap of the king. Surely you are also the son of the king, but because you did not take your birth from my womb, you are not qualified to sit on your father's lap.
Na grihito mayat yatvam kushava. The word that is used. You have not taken birth from my womb. Now somebody read the 12th one.
My dear child, you are unaware that you were born not of my womb, but from another woman.
Now here she is thinking the woman that she is also a queen. It's not that another woman. She is also a queen. She has same rights. And she is much bigger than her, the first queen. But see the attitude of the Suruchi. What is she saying? Another woman. Alag, you know the word? Balo ati. Anya striya. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? अन्य स्त्रिया. And why she has that audacity to speak? Because the king has interest in Suruchi. Here the king means the mind also. What? If the mind has interested in the senses, the sense जो बोलेगा ना वो करेगा. हम हमेशा in the 3-day Bhagavad Gita close or in my courses I show one picture where there are 5 horses and the chariot is going. The 5 horses means 5 senses, and the charioteer, there is the reins are there, and the charioteer is there, and the soul is sitting inside. So actually that ratha is meant to go to a destination, and that destination is towards Lord. Towards Lord. That is the only purpose of that chariot. But if the senses are running in different directions, what will happen to the ratha? It will break down. All the senses should go in a straight to the goal. And what is the goal of our life? Our life is somehow we should go back to the original spiritual world where we belong. We do not belong to this dukhalaya. We are not meant to stay over here. Anityam asukham lokam prapya bhajasvama. This is the statement in the 9th chapter by the Lord. That this is anitya, asukham lokam. How much you try to manage, how much you try to make it, it will not change. This is the nature of this world. But even though in this anitya sukham lokam, there is a way out. That art you have to learn. And use this beautiful life to train your senses towards the goal of your human life. And that is the purpose of this human life. So here she is considering her as Anandasri. And now when we will come to Suniti, what she will be considering her. That is the important part that we have to take in our life. Anyastri, it's not Anyastri. She is a queen. She has the right. She is the first queen. Right? Okay. Please read further.
Therefore,
Yeah.
you should know that your attempt is doomed to failure. You are trying to fulfill a desire which is impossible to fulfill.
This shows her
Confidence.
no ego, power. I am right. Right? Ego, power. I am right. All others are wrong. All others are wrong. I am right. What you did, Phil, मेरे से सलाह लो, मेरे से पूछो, देन मैं आपको बताऊंगा क्या करना है. Okay, read further. Who will read?
If you at all desire to rise to the throne of the king, then you have to undergo severe austerities. First of all, you must satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, and then, when you are favored by him because of such worship, you shall have to take your birth from
Again, here, big problem. She is telling to भगवान के पास जा, तपस्या कर, भगवान को प्रसन्न कर, और बाद में वो मेरे जन्म में कोख में देंगी. तो here also she is trying. अगर भगवान को प्रसन्न कर गया तो तेरे कोख में आने का क्या जरूरी है भाई? हाँ? But here it's shown the ego problem that I am greater than Lord. I am Lord has to send you in my womb. किसके लिए? यहां बैठने के लिए. So when you have an ego problem, you consider yourself greater than the Lord. What? Powerful than the Lord. Understand? And that is the problem of Suruchi. Now the same thing, how Suniti will deal. That is what is that we have to take today. She is sarcastically saying all this thing. Now, before going to Suniti, we will take the way which we should be dealing. Normally people will deal in these cases. And then how she dealt. That is what is we have to understand. Okay? Read further. So you can write ego and you can write what I am greater than Lord. From this statement, what she is trying to prove? भगवान को भी मेरे गर्भ में भी देना पड़ेगा तुमको. ये नहीं बोलेंगे घर में भगवान को तुम प्रसन्न करो और भगवान तुमको दे देंगे. So when there is a ego, when there is a power, वो पावर चढ़ के बोलते हैं. क्या बोलते हैं? पावर चढ़ के बोलता है. And that is what we see over here. वो बोलते हैं ना कि मोदी का अगर कोई कुत्ता भी रहेगा तो उसमें अपने आप पावर आ जाएगा. Okay, ठीक है. Read further. 14th. Who will read?
The
Yes.
sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, as the snake when struck by a stick breathes very heavily, Dhruva Maharaj, having been struck by the strong words of his stepmother, began to breathe very heavily because of great anger. When he saw that his father was silent and did not protest, he immediately...
He was seeing his father. She is speaking in such a way. He is seeing his father. The father dharma was to stop and correct. Even if he is not father, he is a king first. And the same thing happened with Dhritarashtra. He could have avoided this this Mahabharata. He could have avoided that Vastraharana. But he pampered the desire of Duryodhan to be a king in his heart. And he pampered Suruchi. What? And that led to a crisis. So there are many such things which we pamper in our life, which are connected to our senses, and they create a big crisis in our life. They create a big crisis in our life. Okay. So now it was normal. I am small child. बच्चे लोग को वैसे भी they get fast वो हो जाते हैं, fast नाराज भी हो जाती है. But the blood is going on. King के बच्चे को अपमान कर दिया. And what expecting help from the father is not father. And being a Kshatriya, it hurts more. The words hurts more. So you can understand the position of the small child. He's not getting that love. He's not getting the justice from the father. And he's totally mad. Who? Dhruv Maharaj. And he started, crying. Literally he was crying. अभी एक बात बताओ, आपका कोई एक बच्चा, एक लौता बच्चा, very dear to you, और वो रोता रोता आपके पास आ जा रहा, तो क्या होगा? If he is very dear to you, you will get very much anxiety. और कौन किया ये पहला बता? And you will go to any extent to see that वो झगड़ा करना पड़े तो मैं झगड़ा करूंगा, लेकिन इसको कैसे किया तुमने? So now we'll see, we'll come to the problems. Now the problem has come to Dhruv Maharaj. What? He's in a problem. Okay? So complete. Ataji, read the statement again.
When he saw that his father was silent and did not protest, he immediately left the palace and went to his mother.
Went to his mother. Now 15th. Read the 15th one.
When Dhruv Maharaj reached his mother, his lips were trembling in air.
Now see the situation of Suniti. She is there in his room. Her only son is coming. She has no hope कि भाई चलो पति से कुछ होगा, कुछ नहीं होगा. And ऐसा नहीं कि उसके आने के पहले Suniti got the news also. उधर क्या हुआ? And why Dhruv Maharaj is? It's not because of the king, but because of the stepmother, Suruchi, who behaved that way. Who? Behaved that way. And after listening that, now the end result is coming. What is that end result? His son is coming. And what he's doing, the son? The Nishwashita, very heavily breathing because of crying. And, his lips are trembling in that terror. You see the situation. Sometimes क्या होता है, कोई situation हमारे life में आ जाती है ना, और उस टाइम भी react in a very wrong way, और वो complex हो जाता है चीज. कुछ गुस्से की चीज होती है, गुस्से में आदमी ऐसा काम कर देता है कि बाद में पूरे लाइफ पछताना पड़ता है, बहुत पछताना पड़ता है. ऐसे कुछ इंसिडेंट हो जाते हैं. आजकल तो आप देखते हो, थोड़ा गाड़ी को टच हो गया, वो झगड़ा हो जाता है, उसमें मारामारी होकर आदमी मर भी जाता है. ट्रेन के अंदर सीट के लिए लफड़ा होता है, सीट के झगड़े के चक्कर में बाहर आ जाते हैं, ट्रेन छूट जाती है, सीट छूट जाती है, लेकिन वो झगड़ा चलता रहता है. किसके लिए लड़ रहे हैं? ट्रेन. लाइफ में ऐसे ही हो रहा है प्रभु. So you see the situation in that Suniti is kept. It's a very delicate situation, very, very upsetting situation for her. And that scene, my dear son, इसका ये हाल हो रहा है, फफफ रहा है, रो रहा है, होठ हो रहा है, breathing heavily, यार वेरी ब्रिंगिंग हैवीली। बच्चा अगर हमारे सामने ऐसा होता है तो माँ बाप का दिमाग खराब हो जाता है। इट्स वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू सी, दिमाग काम करना बंद कर देता। एंड दैट इज व्हाट सुनीति इज इनसाइड। प्लीज रीड, कंप्लीट दैट स्टेटमेंट।
Suniti immediately lifted her son onto her lap. While the palace residents, who had heard all the harsh words of Suniti, related everything in detail. Thus Suniti also became greatly aggrieved.
एग्रीव, वो भी दुखी हो गई। कोई भी होगा, एनीबडी विल बिकम इन दैट क्राइसिस सिचुएशन। क्या करे, मेरे लाइफ में ऐसा क्यों होता है? हम सोचते हैं कभी कभी यार नहीं चाहिए परेशानी, फिर भी आ जाती है। हम कितना भी मैच करना चाहे, शांति से रहना चाहे, घर में झगड़े हो जाते हैं, रिलेशन में झगड़े हो जाते हैं, भाई भाई में झगड़े हो जाते हैं, पति पत्नी में झगड़े हो जाते हैं। और बाद में तो ऐसा होता है ना, मैं ही क्यों, मेरे साथ ही क्यों, मैं ही क्यों करूं ऐसा? Why should I only do that? Now see the Suruchi thing. We will not go further. Now we will take solutions from him. आप लोग अगर उस सिचुएशन में होते तो क्या करते थे? एक मिनट, now let complete that thing. Prabhuji complete that thing. The 16th one also you read.
The incident was unbearable.
Unbearable. She was in unbearable situation. Please write. See put that thing. Unbearable situation. Then
She began to burn as if in a forest fire. And
अंदर जल रहा, she's totally burning because of that pain. Then
and in her grief she became just like a burnt leaf. And
पूरा सूख गई है। And
as she remembered the words of her co-wife.
देखो एक बात बता दूं, कभी कभी ये होता है कि बाहर के लफ्ज में अपने लोग के जो शब्द है ना बहुत ज्यादा लगते हैं प्रभु, बहुत लगते हैं। कोई बाहर वाला बोल जाएगा तो उतना नहीं लगता है, लेकिन कभी वाइफ, कभी बच्चे, कभी पति, या कभी कोई ऐसे कोई आदमी बोल जाता है ना, तो इट क्या होता है प्रभु जी, द पेन इज वेरी डीप, उस सहन नहीं होता है। घर में कभी ऐसा हो जाता है ना प्रभु, तो दिमाग एकदम फटके बोलते क्या करे। अच्छा, नाउ शी इज इन ग्रीफ एंड प्लीज रीड फर्दर।
She remembered the words of her co-wife, her bright lotus-like face filled with tears, and thus she spoke.
Now 17th verse say that's the reaction she is giving. Now we'll not read. Now we'll come to you. Now let us come to you. If you were there, ये सिचुएशन में आप होते क्राइसिस के, तो क्या करते? Now come Prabhuji, you write over here. There are 3 ways to deal such crisis. What? There are 3 ways. How many? 3 ways. One is called as one is called as tamasi way. One is called as tamasi way to deal the situation. What? Then rajasi way. Tamasi, then rajasi and sattvic. And Shuddha Sattvic will be dealing over there. What Suniti did. It will take 15-20 minutes if you want the solution. How many are interested in solution? Pakka?
Yes.
Huh?
Prabhuji, prasadam is there. So no problem. Everyone is seeing the prasadam there. Sure. So dinner.
No, but at least the solution should be given. Huh? Now, let us read. If you were there, तो तामसी वे ऑफ रिएक्टिंग क्या होता था मालूम है? आज तो मैं रहूंगी या तो वो रहेगी, आर पार कर देंगे। क्या कर देंगे? क्या बोलेंगे? आज आर पार कर देंगे, या तो मैं रहूंगी या तो वो रहेगी। मैं आज सब बर्बाद कर दूंगी। क्या है? अभी बहुत हो गया, अभी डिस्ट्रॉय, आई विल डिस्ट्रॉय आई विल नॉट सी अभी ये सिचुएशन, सो यू कैन से आर पार। क्या कर देंगे? या तो आज मैं जिंदा रहूंगी या तो वो जिंदा। आज उसने लिमिट क्रॉस कर दी। क्या कर दिया? आज उसने लिमिट क्रॉस कर दिया। आज तो मैं मार दूंगी उसको, वो पति को भी मार दूंगी। क्या कर दूंगी? पूरा बर्बाद कर दूंगी। क्या कर दूंगी? होता है
यही होता है।
यही। This is Tamasi way of solution. What is it? Tamasic way of the crisis solution. In every life, these types of solutions. And what will happen if this way is there? The karma reaction doesn't get destroyed. It multiplies. What? Multiplies. They fail to understand that this is because of our karma. If I am suffering, means I may have given suffering in the past life. They fail to understand this thing. The tamasi way is to destroy. Rajasi way of dealing. आज तो सेटल करेंगे हम लोग। क्या करेंगे? कोर्ट में जाएंगे। किधर जाएंगे? नोटिस भेजेंगे। अभी मैं, मेरे ससुर, मेरे काका, मेरे मामा, मेरे चाचा, मेरे जितने लोग हैं, क्या बुलाऊंगा? बैठक बुलाएंगे। ये क्या हो रहा है? व्हाट? ये और ये आज कॉमन है। दिस इज वेरी, थोड़ा ये हुआ ना, उसके बुलाओ, इसके बुलाओ। रास्ता नहीं, इसका मतलब रास्ता बंद करो। वो निकलता नहीं है, रास्ता बंद होता है। डाइवोर्स पे आता है। क्या होता है? बात किधर आती है? डाइवोर्स पे आती है और बोलते हैं कि सेटल करो भाई, मेरा हिस्सा दो, उतना दो, नहीं तो अभी हम कोर्ट में तुमको दिखाएगा। या इन दिस केस व्हाट इज किलिंग, बट इन दिस केस they will go to police, they will go to court, they will go to relatives, हाँ? और शो करना चाहेंगे that is wrong, I am right. और उसमें क्या होता है? अंदर की बातें सब बाहर निकलती हैं। क्योंकि जितना पति पत्नी एक दूसरे को जानते हैं ना, और कुछ को नहीं जानते, वो पूरी बात है ना बाहर दुनिया को दिखाते हैं, हाँ? और उसमें लॉस उन दोनों का ही होता है, बाहर वाले का नहीं आते। बाहर वाले मजा मारते हैं। इन दिस क्राइसिस, हाँ? वो इसको बुलाएंगे, उसको बुलाएंगे, सेटलमेंट करना ट्राई करेंगे। ये कैसे किया तुमने? ये ऐसा ठीक था क्या इसके साथ? पहले वाले सोल्यूशन में क्या है? उसके बाल पकड़ेंगी, उसको नोचेंगी, उसको मारेंगी, उसको पीटेंगी, और पति को लाके बताएंगी ये क्या किया तुमने। दैट इज फर्स्ट सोल्यूशन। सेकेंड सोल्यूशन, शो कर देने का, मेरे साथ अन्याय हुआ। क्या हुआ? आई एम द सफरर। क्या? मेरे जैसा दुखी कौन है? ये लोग, पूरे लोग दुखी कर रहे हैं मुझे। क्या? दैट इज राइट। एंड दिस इज द ओनली टू सोल्यूशन पीपल हैव टुडे। यही है ना। इस सिचुएशन में हम होते या कोई होता या कोई हमारे घर वाले होते तो क्या करते थे? यही दो सोल्यूशन रहते। तीसरा सोल्यूशन मालूम ही नहीं है। तीसरा सोल्यूशन, लेकिन तीसरा सोल्यूशन भी है साथ में, लेकिन वो भी सोल्यूशन नहीं। जो सोल्यूशन है तो सुनीति बताइए, हाउ शी डेल्ट, एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज एक्सपेक्टेड फ्रॉम द शास्त्र व्हेन वी आर इन द क्राइसिस। वी ऑल आर इन सम क्राइसिस, and the way we deal that crisis, first we do not understand why we are in crisis, the cause of crisis. But when we are in the crisis, we try to deal in the tamasi and rajasi way, and we fail to understand that creates more problems. More reactions are going to come in your life. They are not going to cut down. The problems that are there, they will multiply. Because the suffering is dead to be met to you. It is going to multiply. Rajasi and Tamasi will create one more sets of problems in your life. And 99.9% people use this to way of solving the crisis. Understanding that मैं इस problem को ठीक कर दूंगा. First, they fail to understand why the crises are coming. Second, they try to go and complex the problem. Third way of dealing, she understands and she tolerates. What she does? She सब्र रखती है. क्या करती है? ठीक. Tolerates. And she doesn't react. She tries to tolerate. But this tolerance level also एक टाइम पे सब्र टूट जाता है. क्या हो जाता है? And why that tolerance level ज्यादा रुकता नहीं है? क्योंकि उसमें भक्ति नहीं है. उसके लिए उसके पास हायर सपोर्ट नहीं है. उसके पास कृष्ण नहीं है उसकी लाइफ में. क्या नहीं है? एक हायर लेवल ऑफ सपोर्ट नहीं है उसके पास. एंड दैट्स व्हाई वो जो सात्विक सॉल्यूशन है दैट इज टॉलरेट. समझ लो कि मेरा भाग्य में था, गया, चलो ठीक है, सहन कर ली. एंड शी ट्राइज टू काम एंड शी डजंट ट्राई टू फाइंड द फॉल्ट इन अदर्स. बट दिस लेवल इज वेरी रेयर बिकॉज, और वो ज्यादा रुकता नहीं है, फिर इधर ही आ जाता है. किधर आ जाता है? क्योंकि उससे हायर नहीं है ना उसके पास कुछ सपोर्ट के भी. तो आप कितना भी उसको बोलो टॉलरेट करो, नहीं कर पाएंगे. बिकॉज शी और ही डजंट हैव कृष्णा इन हिज लाइफ. दे डोंट हैव भगवत गीता इन देयर लाइफ. दे डोंट हैव भागवतम इन देयर लाइफ. दे डोंट हैव डिवोटीज इन देयर लाइफ. दे डोंट हैव डीटीज इन देयर लाइफ. They don't have somebody to pray for you in your life. But now we'll take what Suniti says. Very nice words she said. That is the way that is expected for all of us to deal with. Please read the 17th verse. Read the 17th verse.
She also was breathing very heavily, and she did not know the factual remedy for the painful situation. Not finding any remedy, she said to her son, My dear son.
She is a very, very, very nice word. She is giving lesson to her son. First thing, because she understands the karma reactions. What she understands? She has a knowledge of karma reaction. She is a devotee. What is she?
Devotee.
So first thing, she is trying to, specify the son. And what she is saying, the word that is used is Sanskrit word. Mama pashyati balakam bala ma amangalatatapaeshu sanstha bhungte jat yat para dukhadasa tata. Ma amangal. Ma in Sanskrit, ma means no. Nahi. Amangal. Don't think amangal. Bacha. What that? For whom? For Suruchi. Please don't think bad for her. This is the greatness. Why? Because she is devotee of Lord. She understands. Krishna is giving me pain. I'm devotee. I'm following. Then he wants to reduce my pain. What? I had to suffer more. But now, because I am in service of Lord Krishna, Lord has given me a discount. That pain he has given me a discount. I should have suffered more. I do not know. Because I have complete faith in my Lord. He will never leave me. Whatever he does, he will be doing good for me. He will be doing good for me. He will never do anything wrong. So with that understanding, she says to the son, Ma Mangal, Never ever think wrong for anybody or bad for anybody or have ill feelings for anybody. Because the moment you think about ill, it's a word that is bhumte jano yat para dukhi swata. Please read that line, Prabhuji. My dear son, do not wish for anything inauspicious for others. कभी गलत मत सोचो दूसरे के।
My dear son, don't wish for anything inauspicious for others. Anyone who inflicts
pain upon others suffers himself for that pain. Very nice statement. जो दूसरे को दुख देता है उसको दुख मिलने वाला है, चिंता मत करो। इसलिए कभी भी किसी को दुख देने के बारे में या पेन देने के बारे में सोचो नहीं, क्योंकि आपको आज अगर आपको पेन है या दुख है या आपको कुछ है, आपने किसी को दुख दिया है, इसलिए आपको मिल रहा है। We know the incidents about the Mundak Rishi, that how he was doing tapasya and a thief entered and the kings then arrested all the thieves and the Mundak Rishi was kept one night in the jail and the morning he was going to be killed. Mundak Rishi comes out and the king begs, maaf karo humko nahi malum tha. So he is laughing, Mundak Rishi, Markandeya Rishi ka pita. He says, I am trying to find out why I am suffering in the jail one night. I am trying to find by my Ashtasiddhi and Navdiddhi whatever I am having, but I am not able to find out. It's not your fault. It is यमराज फॉल्ट, चित्रगुप्त फॉल्ट, कुछ मिस्टेक किया उसने, क्या? सो वहां से अंतर ध्यान हो जाता, क्या हो जाता वो? He disappears from that place. He could have disappeared in the night also from the jail. सुबह क्यों डिसअपियर हो रहा है? Because he wanted to find out in the entire night by his Shakti, मैंने मिस्टेक क्या किया, why I am suffering. And morning is laughing with the king. And he अंतर ध्यान हो गया, सीधा गया यमलोक. कहां गया? And going Yamloka, Yamdut is coming, Yamraj is coming and praying and doing. Yeah, Mundak Rishi says all this बाद में tell Chitragupt, first find out why did I suffer at the night. I was kept in the jail for which karma? I know I have not done anything wrong by my power. Find out. Yamraj is going and telling Chitragupt, देखो भाई क्या गड़बड़ हो गया. Why he was kept for one night? तो दिकारा बोला, there is nothing प्रभु, everything is clean, but only one incident. क्या बोला? तो कौन सा incident? Because when he was very small and rolling in the ground चार पैर से, and that time he was in the garden playing. What he was doing? And in the playing mood, he removed a grass. क्या किया? And there were some small insects there, and he was playing with them. So with that grass, he was touching them. Usko? So because of the touching, the pain was there to that insect. क्या हो रहा था? So that pain had to be given in some way to who? And that's why this reaction happened. अरे मुंडक ऋषि बोलता है, I was small child, I didn't have that much understanding, और वो खाली टच किया था मैंने, तो टच का इतना बड़ा तुमने बोल दिया कि भाई जेल में रहो. तो इसका कोई उतने के जितना लंबा जाता है ना रिएक्शन, उतना ज्यादा उसका ब्याज लगता है. क्या लगता है? Listening this, he got very upset. He cursed. You don't have brain. क्या बोला? I curse you. You become Shudra. इधर से शूद्र बन जाओ. And he became Dasi Putra Vidura in next life. So she tells equally the same thing. Who? Please, first lesson she teaches her. True Maharaj. Never ever think bad or wrong. Because those who give pain, they themselves will get pain. So don't think amangala. Never think amangala. Never think anything inauspicious for others. वो अपना कर्म खुद भोगेंगे. वाई टू अपना सर क्यों खराब करे, ईर्ष्या क्यों रखे या द्वेष क्यों रखे, वो क्यों रखे. And this understanding, higher understanding comes when you are at the devotion level, akarma level. Then you have Bhagavad Gita, then you have a Guru, then you have Bhagavatam, you have Krishna in your life as a center. Then that understanding comes. Otherwise नहीं है, कोई भी solution इधर ही आके अटक जाने वाला है. किधर? क्राइसिस. पहले तो क्राइसिस क्यों आ रहा है वो नहीं मालूम, और क्राइसिस पे क्राइसिस हम करते जा रहे हैं. और क्राइसिस आने के बाद वी डू नॉट हैव सात्विक, तो ज्यादा टाइम रुकेगा नहीं आज के टाइम पे. टॉलरेंट बोलो, अच्छा बोलो, ये तो रुकने वाला ही नहीं. यू नो समटाइम मोटिवेशनल टॉक्स, ये टॉक्स थोड़ी टाइम के लिए अच्छा, लेकिन जब वो स्वभाव आ जाता है उसका, तो राजसी तामसी स्वभाव तो उसका नेचर बता ही देता है. तो सोल्यूशन वो उसी टाइप का सोल्यूशन करता है फिर वो. बट व्हेन यू हैव कृष्णा, when you have Lord, the first thing you will tell the child, please do not think bad or wrong for your mother. She is not saying anya stri. What she is saying? It is her mother. See the difference. Here she was saying another woman. She is saying she is your mother. And that understanding will only come when you have Krishna in your life. Where even somebody is giving pain, you will say, "This Krishna is sending it." क्या कर रहा है? भगवान ने भेजा है. उसके हृदय में तो वही है भगवान, ये नहीं है. और मेरे भाग्य में कुछ लिखा होगा. And that is what she is teaching through Maharaj. First lesson. कोई ऐसा कर सकता है? ऐसा लेसन दे सकते हैं? बच्चा, you are right. हम लोग बोलते तो बच्चा, you are very right. But to correct the child over there, to stop that hatred, to stop that ill feeling, because that ill feeling, that hatred will kill him in future. What? Hatred and ill feeling will kill him, the child, not him, her. वो तो सफर करेगी अपना. But why the child should suffer because of that hatred? And who can give that lesson? Only a devotee can give a lesson. That's why Suniti was the first Shiksha Guru of Dhruv Maharaj. And why she was able to speak? Because she was a great devotee of Lord. You understand? So first lesson she is giving what? Ma Mangal. What? Don't, any person who is giving pain, patni hoye, pati hoye, sahan karna, please. But that sahan karna will not be long lasting if it is not connected with bhakti. It will not long last. I'm telling you. अगर आपको पति मिली है या पत्नी मिली है या बच्चे मिले हैं, वो मेरे कर्म है. It is my karma. Relatives मिले हैं, it's my karma. I have to deal it with in a Shuddha Sattvic way, taking the help of Bhagavad Gita, taking the help of Lord. Huh? See the nature of Suniti. She is not considering her other three. She is saying it is a mother. And then what sarcastic words she used? She is using the same words to prove that she is right. She is not finding fault. She is not fault. उसने क्या बोला? You go to Lord. She is telling right, बच्चा. You should go to Lord. And then she is finding the fault in herself. कि मेरे भाग्य ऐसे क्या? Let's read. 3-4 shlokas are there, and we'll try to. I'm taking a lot of your time, but sorry.
No problem.
But this solution is very much important to understand how to deal with the crisis in your life. Huh? Little outlook by the end of the class. At least you should take something and try to see that what type of way we are going to deal. the crisis, because everybody is in some or other crisis, right? कोई तन से दुखी, कोई मन से दुखी, हाँ? कोई धन से दुखी, थोड़े थोड़े सब दुखी. Okay. So read further what she is saying. Mahamangal, 17th. Please complete that. That is complete, na? Please do not inflict pain. So Mahamangal is the first lesson. Mahamangal, don't think bad. And she is thinking her as a mother. Right. Okay. Read the 18th one.
Suniti said,
Satyam. The first word that is used is Satyam. Whatever she said is not wrong, bacha. Whatever she said, हमारा जैसा दूसरा कोई रहेगा तो क्या बोलेगा? तामसी रहेगा तो, राजसी रहेगा तो झूठ, झूठ. मैं भी, I am also something. वो क्या समझती है अपने आप को?
चल के बता.
But here what she is saying, Satyam, the word that is first used is Satyam. Suruchya, Mohita, Yad Bhavana, Yad Durbhagya. My Durbhagya. What is she saying? It is not her Durbhagya. My Durbhagya, my karma. Please read the statement.
Suniti said, my dear boy, whatever has been spoken by Suruchi is so, because the king, your father, does not consider me his wife or even his maid servant.
मेरे को तो दासी भी नहीं समझता है. This is my भाग्य.
He feels ashamed to accept me. Therefore, it is a fact that you have taken birth from the womb of an unfortunate woman.
ये मेरा भाग्य है. I am unfortunate. What? मेरा कुछ ऐसे कर्म थे. मैं भोग रही हूँ. Accepting the truth of life. Accepting. That is the quality in a devotee. समझता है कि जो भी सिचुएशन में आज हूं, ये मेरे कर्मों से अच्छे या बुरे. I have not to blame anybody. Not my wife, not my children, not my father, not my anybody. But how I have to go, अभी उसमें से निकलना है. क्या करना है? अभी मैं राजसी करके निकलो, तामसी करके निकलो, और या फिर सहन करके निकल. Acceptance is there in a devotee of the situations. That is the difference. Yes, ये आया है मेरे कर्म थे, but Krishna help me. क्या है? कृष्णा मेरे को निकाल. आप मेरे लिए प्रे करो. What the devotee say? Please pray for. Please pray for. That is the mentality. Nobody is to be blamed. I have done and I am getting it. That acceptance. Suruchi is not blaming. Suniti is not blaming Suruchi. She is trying to give the right lesson to his son in that situation. That is the devotee's quality. That is the greatness. Please read further.
Therefore, it is a fact that you have taken birth from the womb of an unfortunate woman, and by being fed from her breast, you have grown.
You have grown from the unfortunate. We have to accept it. Now read the 19th one.
My dear boy, whatever has been spoken by Suruchi, your stepmother, although very harsh to hear,
वो सत्य है. कड़वा है लेकिन ठीक है. अच्छा. That is what she is teaching. To whom? And who can teach them? Only a devotee. And that's why when Dhruv Maharaj went to Goloka, तो देखा कि उसकी मां पहले आगे लगी. उसकी मां went first because he was praying. तेरी मां को वो तुम्हारे पहले गई है. But she was the great person who has inspired you, showed you the real picture of your life. And that's why the work of a guru, of a Vaishnava, through Bhagavad Gita and to Bhagavatam, to show you the real fact of the life. Okay, what is this world? Who are we? What is the purpose of this life? See, one thing you should understand. There are karma, vikarma and akarma. What is this? Karma, vikarma and akarma. No good karmas can cut bad karmas. By doing good karmas, sattvic karma, you think that my bad karmas will be finished off. It's not going to happen. That is not the law of nature. But to cut down the good and bad karmas, you have to do akarma. What do you have to do? And what is the meaning of akarma? Actions which are related and centered around Lord. Yat karoshi, yat ashnashi, yat juhoshi, dadashi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tab kurushva madarpanam, shubha, shapura, falereva, moksha, aise karma bandhane. That whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever, it should be centered around Krishna. Then that will destroy all your bads and good karmas. And that is what we have to understand in this class. By doing only a karma, my previous karmas will get burnt. There is no other way to get the karmas burnt. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. These are the 9 activities which we have to focus more in our life to burn off our past karmas. The more we will be doing, we will be burning off our past karmas, and that much relief you will be getting in your karma reactions. And that Suriti understands, and that is what she is teaching to his son. Higher level, higher solution for the problems. Not putting these solutions and creating multiple problems, more problems in our life. And that is what we all do in our day-to-day life. We do not understand why the problems are there, and we try to solve this way. Maximum we can go up to that level, लेकिन उस दर भी ज्यादा टाइम रुकता नहीं है आदमी का दिमाग, फिर आ जाता है. Why? Because Krishna is not there in their life. So bringing Krishna is prime important. Centering your life around Krishna is prime important, because that will help to solve lot of karma reactions. सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य पाप एकम शरणम व्रज अहम त्वाम सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुच. Arjun, please, don't worry, I will help you. Name bhakta pranashyati, my devotees will never perish. That is the statement given by the Lord. You will never perish. And that is what we have to bring in our life. That solution, that way of handling the crisis solution, relating it with Krishna, but not artificially, sincerely, practicing it. Otherwise, आपका नेचर तो आपका आ ही जाएगा बात. इसको बोलने की जरूरत नहीं. Please read.
Therefore, if you desire at all to sit on the same throne as your stepmother Uttama, then give up your envious attitude.
What she says? Envious attitude. Give up. अभी ये 5 मिनट में finish.
And immediately try to execute the instruction of your stepmother.
जो आपकी सुरुचि ने बोला है ना, she took the सार, अच्छी बात निकाली. उसने क्या एक अच्छी बात बोली? भगवान के पास जाओ. तो जो गलत आदमी, जो सही आदमी रहेगा, वो गलत आदमी की अच्छी बात पकड़ेगा, और जो गलत आदमी रहेगा ना, वो अच्छे आदमी की गलत बात पकड़ेगा. तो what was the nice thing about? उसने क्या बोला? भगवान के पास. So she told right. And how the devotees deal in that way? Any crisis, they try to put that person to the level of bhakti. क्या करेंगे? जो सच्चा गुरु है, सच्चा, he will try to connect that crisis and take it to Krishna. Says, I am not able to power, but yes, Radha Ras Bihar की power है, भगवान के पास उधर जाके आप pray करो. And I have given so many solutions that way. कि भाई उधर डालो, उससे प्रार्थना करो, चिट्ठी डालो, क्या करो, उधर से जो आंसर आया, हमारे पास तो कोई पावर नहीं, बट है उसके पास पावर. If you go sincerely, cry sincerely, definitely the solution is there. And that is what Suniti is saying to his. Please read.
Without further delay, you must engage yourself in worshipping the Lord feet of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead.
Bhagwan ka bhajan, please. And that is what a sincere devotee will say. He says, I don't have solution, but he has. Huh? Then read the next.
Suniti continue, the Supreme Personality of a Godhead is so great that simply by worshipping his lotus feet, your great grandfather Lord Brahma.
And now, in that crisis also, see, very beautiful of Suniti. In the crisis, she is not blaming others, but she is using the situation to glorify the Lord. वो भी उसमें भगवान का भजन गा रही है, भगवान का greatness गा रही है. So great Lord. And that is what a devotee is. उस क्राइसिस में भी नहीं तो दूसरे होंगे तो भगवान क्या करता है तुम है कि नहीं है, ये रजोगुण वाले होगा ना. मैं ही क्यों, मैं तो तेरा 16 माला करती हूं, तेरा ये करती हूं, तेरा वो करती हूं, मैं क्यों, मैं कितना भजन करती हूं, मैं क्यों. But a devotee in that finds a way to glorify the Lord. So, she is glorifying. In that crisis also she is glorifying the Lord. How great Lord! तुम्हारे पिता, तुम्हारे बड़पिता, इन सब ने उनकी प्रार्थना की और उनको मिला है. आपको भी मिलेगा बच्चा. Please read.
Lord Brahma acquired the necessary qualification to create this universe.
ये यूनिवर्स उन्होंने भगवान के कृपा से किया है. Read further.
Although he is unborn and is the chief of all living creature, he is situated in the accelerated post because of the mercy of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, whom even great yogis worship by controlling the mind and regulating the life.
Glorifying the Lord. In the situation, glorifying the Lord. That is the way, real way of problem resolution. You see, Vritrasura in the battlefield, he is glorifying the Lord. He is in a very horrible situation, then also he is glorifying the Lord. Sudama, when he knew that Lord didn't give me anything, he is glorifying the Lord. भगवान कितने दयालु है, मैं आपके पास आया, आपने कुछ नहीं दिया, मेरे को मालूम था आपने नहीं देने वाले, मेरे को आपने जो अच्छा किया. And he is so happily going. भगवान ने कुछ नहीं दिया मुझे. और उधर जाके देखते तो पूरा सब अलग हो गया. बोलते मेरी घर किधर है, मेरा वो भी चला गया क्या. So this is the quality in which we have to be. And उसके बाद खत्म हो गया?
नहीं है.
एक है.
Sunita informed her son, your grandfather Swayambhuva Manu executed great sacrifices with distribution of charity, and thereby with unflinching faith and devotion he worshipped and satisfied the Supreme Personality of a Godhead. By acting in that way, he achieved the greater success in material happiness and afterward achieved liberation, which is impossible to obtain by worshipping the demigod.
Read further.
My dear boy, you also should take shelter of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead.
In that situation, he is telling to do bhakti. And that is only possible by a bhakta. Please read.
Who is very kind to his devotee, persons seeking liberation from the cycle of birth and death, always take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord in a devotional service. Becoming purified by executing your allotted occupation, just situate the Supreme Personality of a Godhead in your heart, and without deviating for the moment, engage always in his service.
So she became the first Shiksha Guru and helped her to do bhakti in that crisis. भजन में लगाया. क्या लगाया? दूसरा होता तो क्या करता?
कोट पे देता.
नहीं, बच्चे को भी करता. देखो, यह है तुम्हारे फादर, ये है ब्रदर. ऐसे विष फैलाते. क्या होता? नॉर्मल होता तो क्या? यू आर राइट, शी इज रॉन्ग. और देखो तुम्हारा फादर कैसा है, तुम्हारा ये कैसा है, वो कैसा है, ये कैसा है, ये कैसा है, ये वाला है. आई एम राइट, ही इज राइट. बट ये नहीं बोलेंगे भजन करो. दिस इज द रियल सोल्यूशन. And that is what we learn from. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare